Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Of Scribes and Men. I am your host, the Mad Poet, soon to be the Mad Poet of 10,000, even though I am the Mad Poet of thousands, uh, primarily 2,000 at the moment. Thank you. Soon to be 3,000. But I'm heading on to the road of 10,000 poems, which is more poems than any other poet that has been done in like modern history that I'm aware of. But anyways, let's get into volume 18. What matters of men on well traveled roads, of people they'll see and people they'll talk, each carrying their emotional loads, their tales to tell where all visitors walk, of dreams to be as they set in their sight, and birds of the feather whom they all flock, all but seeing their own internal light. The pathway is bright when going to hell, their journey away comes not by their might. A longing for a place where peace will go dwell, to settle for a place along the shore where families could live with stories to tell. Yet the price of greed is asking for more. In their selfish desire, all can now see. Best cut out the filth, don't open that door. The chains upon men who all were once free, shackled forever in places they stood, shouting their warnings with every decree. Words unheard from those who misunderstood. They twisted and turned it all into lies, all for profit, believing they should. Yet there were those who went towards the wise, their answers not given, only a clue. For a way to deal with all they despise, the monsters and men they all would pursue, with words of the pure and all who defy, and the blessings in the land making it new. What mind of men of those without rest, abandoned mental clarity none would invest, such is not how a body should heal, to become alive and finally feel. Temper yourself in a calm state of mind, take in deep breaths, each of its kind. When ready, let the air flow, relaxing your body, letting it know. Answers are not always made to be clear, as curiosity draws everyone near. Don't fret about whether wrong or right. Sometimes perspective requires new sight. Sometimes I read these far too fast than I actually should, and that's on me. If I just slow down a little bit, that is on me. Aspects of seasons, each in their own turn, a pull of the heart and what we all yearn, of laughter from summer nights to winter's cold, each their own memory and a story to be told. If I was like more into spoken word, I'd probably be doing a lot of this a lot better. But I'm not, so here we are. Have we stopped to listen to the breeze that flows through forest and seas, smells and feelings bringing memories of the past, nostalgia hitting from one to the last? Have you ever watched the waves crash onto shore, enthralled by sights and asking for more? In your own little entertainment and joy, bringing back feelings of when you were a boy. Blow, soft wind, blow, give kisses upon my hand. Show me new ways to feel and understand the flow of nature and the air, and how to make it light and fair. Soft melodies that soothe the soul in a diner over a worm. Let me start that over. Soft melodies that soothe the soul in a diner over a warm soup bowl, with the sound of rain on the window sill, warmth in a heart to go and fill. Needless to say, I probably could not be a rapper. I felt the kisses of rain under the neon lights, across the city during the midnight sights, through a soft glow and a humming sound, in a whisper of smoke with no one around. The sun-kissed blossoms gliding through the air, flowing softly down like a graceful dance. Dancing through a puddle of rainy days, all the ways through the sun's rays, enjoying every moment that comes, moving to the beat of their own drums. Princess and a dragon within a castle, one would think it would be a hassle, yet best of friends they both would be, defeating all those who sought to set her free. So many choices which one to pick, trying to decide, but nothing will stick. Sometimes there's ease in only having one, but if that was the case, where is the fun? Taste of the tongue, leaving so bitter. Taste of the sour, but I am no quitter. Taste so salty, it will do just fine. Tasting the spicy, on which I will dine. Taste of some iron, I've swallowed some blood. And then taste of some soda, down like a flood. Tasting full flavors, I'll count it a win. But tasting the sweet is my addiction and sin. Food can be dangerous for those who consume. Another addiction to arise that can lead to your doom. Would we question desire if it gave us its hand, caressed oh so gently, never shouting a demand? Instead, sweet little whispers that fall in the ear with subtle directions for use it would steer. Stare into the abyss, stare into your mirror, seeing the darkness to see even clearer. For what is it all when it comes from the mind? Self-awareness now gone, yet you are always blind. Oh, this is acrostic, actually. Not free verse. I mislabeled that. Static experience staying in place. Temporal anomalies perhaps are the case. Answers come to those willing to see that froze us in this state to be eventually rescued, being set free. Why hate the rain when you can embrace it instead? Into nature's shower, dousing your body and head. Yet warmer waters would be ideal for a better experience to go out and feel. Things must be short, then let it be real. Something to grip onto something to feel. Like a blueprint of an adventure, all could then go. From the smallest of lines turned into a show. I will not fight with the fire or the echoes that bleed. Through each painful moment, tried, planted a seed. Whether good or bad, of which I know not, I'll entrust it to God when it's whom I've sought. This is also acrostic. What am I doing? I must have been tired when I was labeling these. Feels that come with mystical glow, attractions and desires along with musical flow. Yeah, feels that come with mystical glow, attractions and desires along a musical flow, eventually caught in their schemes, as many will know. There are many things that sink into the deep of shadowed creatures at the edges of sleep, never intended to show the corners of the wall. Best thing to do, perhaps, stay silent and stall. Sleep draws in, digging the mind to go under. It cares not for my state before tearing asunder. For it cares for my rest, so I would live the best of my abilities with more to go give. A succulent taste in something so fizzy, no need to worry or be ever made dizzy. There is no secret that it is a pleasure and enjoyment of drink as favored treasure. Although I could have put it as flavored treasure as well, so because that would have been accurate too, but anywho, efforts that are keeping one going through symptoms that begin to start showing, all for the reason of a goal to obtain while journeying the ranks of the mad and insane. Such visceral reactions, oh how we feel, phantom pain against the body would never reel, charged up and then further divided, traced in the sand with whom we have sided. You'll glare with your hate, I'll stare with a smile, just another name to the list gone into the pile. Then burned up straight into the fire, for what is the use entertaining negative desire? I should probably put that as an into the pile. Okay. You say you will focus, but you barely will act, as you wait for the moment amused to attract. Sometimes to walk, you really must run, to get to the end and see it all done. Pen and ink written in blood and breath, onward still unto our death. Even still past those dying days, the craft is honed in the art of their ways, reflecting through arrows that come from the past, yet yesterday's today, and the ones that will last. What ways of men that mortals see, for a singular purpose all would agree, or are they so gone that apart they will go, thinking themselves better and ones in the know? As a mockingbird laughs, so do the ways of a fool, but the wise, like a vulture, patiently watch. Who shall answer the call that comes and appears? Will you step on forward or give heed to your fears, only to run back to comfort's desire, never setting foot again or feeling the fire, or again feeling the fire? Doldrum of life that covers the eyes, stuck in the comfort covered by lies. As many accept to remain where they're dead, growing fat off the comfort they're fed. Souls once slept among the ruins where echoes of history once covered the sky. What then to make of when they all fade, and to find a way forward and learn how to fly? Weary souls go marching on through the night into the dawn, for there is work still to be done, all for the sake of a future daughter or son. Fear, fear, the plague you know, the crow did sing. Ignorance is bliss upon your crimson throne. Message of omens brought unto the king. Feathers fall across the land from his wing. Bodies buried, stripped right down to the bone. Fear, fear, the plague you know, the crow did sing. Cursed is the man who wears a crown and ring across the land and upon all you own. Message of omens brought unto the king. Will you hear the morning song people bring? Where is the wise counsel that should have known? Fear, fear, the plague you know, the crow did sing. Such folly shall bring in an uprising. Heard at the edge where all the dead go, heard at the edge where all the dead do moan. Message of omens brought unto the king. There shall be no respite from death's coming sting, laid to waste under a forgotten gravestone. Fear, fear, the plague you know, the crow did sing. Message of omens brought unto the king. Down the crown upon blood-soaked land, hopefully hubris won't be the last stand from those who laugh at the peasant's demand, who will drown the crown upon their land. Piece of a bone, for whom do you beg? Shall you play a trick or shake a leg? Of you I have or see no need, so see if you please continue to beg and bleed. Hypocrisy stuck between right and wrong, all join into the biased dance and song. So pick a side, perform your show, for all shall have a side in which to go. What coy games shall we play like a cat and mouse? Which of us is truly trapped inside this house? And what is my heart or soul you wish to claim, with wild eyes and charm hiding the tame? Sound of a siren along rocks of the ocean, bringing their demise. Hunger so hollow and an endless appetite that toppled men at the top of their might, always to go and resume the rest as you hunt to consume. Until the day the ink runs dry, I shall then bleed the pages before I die, cementing a legacy of blood and ink for a future to ponder and think. A school for learning or a gathering of fools, equipping the youth with a future of useless tools, while claiming ways they will succeed when you all want to see them die and bleed. I do not judge you because you're bad, I judge you because you're sloppy, knowing normalcy is some kind of fad. Disappointment comes when you could know more. I am no Watsky on the pages with poetry I compile, with the speed of inferno going out of style. Yet that fire will continue to always burn, a way forward for all to see and learn. Even a blind rhino will defend what is theirs, but folly will have you robbed before dawn. For whom will you worship and die, with vows made unto heaven's sky? Shall you invoke the name of whom all must bow unto Jesus unto Jesus to make that final surrender and vow? What will it come to cost to claim all you have lost? And was there ever a need for a new day and seed? The lull of the bed as your eyes begin to close, the land of dreams drawing closer as it knows. For the land of the wake shall not be much longer, as its presence gradually grows ever stronger. Stirring the pot until it begins to boil. Oh, that's another acrostic. stirring the pot until it begins to boil, taunting those who come to toil, into sensations of digital rage, run into the internet age. What did the sweet apple do to be the symbol of the temptation and sin? Why they decided this I have no clue, but whoever did I'd like to talk and bring in. Delusions of fantasy seeping into the brain, invading into reality, shall I remain sane? Disassociation comes, and then my mind is gone, away to the land of dreams where it's always drawn. If I had more time, how much more could I write? If I had more time, would it ever be such a fight? If there was more time, how much more could I do? If I had more time, would I even have a clue? If I had more time, I ask, but not of the times I did. If I had more time, with the many things to rid. If I had my time, what will the heights go bring? If I had the time, could I go bring a song to sing? If I had more time, would I be tired? If I had more time, could there be more to be sired? Time is what we will come to make it, just requires sacrifice to go and finally take it. You call it poetry, yet all I see is prose. Run-on sentences as your diary shows. Where, oh, where is a rhyme or rhythm? Excuse me while I stand in opposition. Have I become a slave to my obsession? Shall I hand it to Let me start that over. Have I become a slave to my obsession? Shall I hand it a priest for a confession? Is it so wrong when it seems like a calling? Sacrifice must be made before I start falling. Weary state of body and mind, of the many who follow in kind, returning day after day, keeping hopes up until they pay their pay. Into a continual daily routine, never more truly be seen, going to vacation where they've always been. Nope, this is an Asendra. Where they went, a day they spent, finally becoming ever so content, forever away from their haunting torment. Gravekeepers, midnight song they sing, ghouls that they go bring, going down into their haunted crypt, gathering for a performer's script. Will you drink of the wine that bleeds from the vine through an intoxicating scent, never wary of where you went? Pedal to the metal, pressing the gas, into a race in a need for speed, for the sake of the gold, all others to pass, adrenaline pumping like a dragon freed. Shall this be my swan song, or shall I continue to go, when all is said and done, and I have gone and finally won? Fire on time to strike when it's hot, for a dream's alive that you have sought, forged with a hammer and pain, for the lasting desire to finally gain. Work of the many, 1,000 to 1, eventually through a path finally done, a slow burn with fire in the eye, until the many will ask how and why. Close your eye into a prayer, submit yourself into God's love and care, asking for a hand to show and guide through the one whom you will confide. Pocket full of roses, color me in red, with passionate kisses laid down into the bed. Let me start that over. Pocket full of roses, color me in red, with passionate kisses laid down onto the bed. After the day when we were finally wed, with the vows we went and said. Found poetry called, they laugh at your form, like a mess spiraled. Yeah. I need to slow down. Found poetry called, they laugh at your form, like a mess sprawled in through a storm. At least their words know where to land, through organized chaos subtle demand. Gritting your teeth forged into a smile, begging to be gone rather than a while. Seeking those days of solitude and rest, tales of an introvert when they finally confessed. Hold it together, let it continue to play, evidence collected at the end of the day. In hidden corners where no one will see, ways of the criminal will never be free. Penny for your shame, caught with a grin, with blushing faces covered in sin. Yet in love all should go and know, repentance is all for all who are willing to go. What I wouldn't give to relax and forget, as all the conditions I've gone and set upon myself with my own time and chains that will bring me closer towards freedom's gains. From dawn till night will you write upon until you bleed, never to give up the fight as you continually plant every seed. Eyes ablazing, a smile and more. Welcome you through the door, into a place of rustic opulence through their sudden providence. To whom shall your heart answer when you write, gift of the giver into everyone's sight? Shall we go with the stream? Shall we go with the stream along with the flow, or search through the forest where no one may go? Firing piece after piece until my hand on a rail. No need for a kettle for a pot to go stale. Flick of the wrist, call it an orbital nuke. When it comes to poetry, you can call me a duke. Cut of the water, they call it a knife. From men who drift, calling it a life. Call it fine when its currents they follow. Ask what essence is before they turn hollow. I should do like some. I should go back to my choir practice, musical theater, vocal training. I'm going to keep doing this. Do some tongue twisters before I start something. Do 3 impossible things in a day. I do more than 20, some would say. Constantly learning while on an uphill battle, wishing I was with a man in a saddle. Yeah, okay. A moment of speed, ask what went past, all but a moment of time of eras cast, all trapped in a temporal flow. If legacy's the destination, then to eternity I go. Multiple forms of lexical difficulty, reasons to give some a moment of pause, trapped in levels of intricacy, all for a singular mythical cause. If I could take the stars and see how they shine, from their light into celestial myths divine, nobody asks because nobody knows when a star dies where the myth goes. Emotional pause, all within the still waters, a soul's harmony. Minutes pause for reflection on inner turmoil and inspection, matters of the heart that rise, echoing the tears in the eyes, numbing sensation now flowing in, that time will eventually heal within. Late into the night I test my health, body's not amused with myself, yet self-imposed timeline keeps ticking before the arrival of my inner nitpicking. Rabbit like a cloud, with fur so fluffy, curled up into a ball becoming puffy, as a giant pets it ever so gently, while holding onto it ever so intently. Tale of neon lights upon the red light district of debauchery. Single craft growing ever louder, set of some making it up. Single craft growing ever louder, set of some making up hit with set of some makeup hit with the pout. That's makeup, like makeup kit. I knew I'm freaking okay. See, this is why I have let's start this over. Single craft growing ever louder, set of some makeup hit with the powder, taste of the lipstick before pulled right in, before the fun of the night would begin. Yeesh, I should have, anyways. forging pieces of myself into piles, organizing my mind into separate files, every one so authentically me, so what you get is what you'll see. Tale of a genie, there's no tale of wishes three, wishes of their own discourse to be, almost like no one has read in their sights 1,001 nights. Lessons of the past through the words of the wise, as well as all fools in their own disguise, setting up on paths we must study and know, with tales of wisdom and folly they bestow. What toils of life and troubles of heart that we could ever be apart, as my soul aches for what is not there, away from your touch and loving care. Do you sing your song while trapped in a cage, doors wide open, yet still stand on that stage? What will it take to finally fly free, way into life and to finally be? Levels of madness contained in one mind, with methods of sights brought to more than the blind, foundations laid in the trials they blaze, for those who follow now left in a daze. What will you offer for the coin of your kin? That's coin of your kin. No. What will you offer for the cost of your kin? Choices are yours with no cost of my skin. Deals are made by those willing to play. What will you do when you have nothing to say? Sound of the trumpets as the horses come, the earth comes shaking with the roll of the drum. Across the land in an echo of thunder, pay the price or be ripped asunder. Ease of your worries, give just cause, for your performance a resounding applause. We are all but masks put on by a show, as no one asks the one to bestow. Strike when the action's hot, but it's soothing when it's cold. Even though we'll take a shot, action does not always favor the bold. Taste of your flavor, it's bubblegum pink. My mind in a swirl, I can hardly think. All behind a smile and a pop, who spotted her prey and caused him to stop. Next to completion when everything's done, one step ahead, that of a gun. Tales told in the eyes of the hidden, smirking at those who claimed the forbidden. Best get used to it, you've gone and turned. Lessons were taught that you've never learned. Now consumed by an immortal blight, never to repent or seek to make things right. And that is going to be it for volume 18. And then we finish it off with like the poetry gauntlet, which is next, and then the Japanese forms, which is the one after that. But until then, I will see you guys then.